Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 premium SPG that we know and love as Fifi La Pew Pew. You might know it as a leFhy or a leaf blower. This one is located on the north spawn of Murovanka and it's under the command of ProvoBob. And you may have seen him in action on one of our videos just recently. In fact, that was a following replay to this one. Well, he's on the Australian-New Zealand server. That's why he's got the kangaroo on the side of his turret. And, well, this also means that there's not enough players to make a full game, which means that Wargaming have put bots into the game. But despite the fact that those bots sometimes can be, well, how should we say it, unpredictable, they can also be very deadly opponents because, of course, they have a habit of actually using premium ammo when you don't expect it. When he's making his way down to the east side of the map, he's going to support the guys in the Magic Forest. It's a good firing position, and he's ready to go. Now he's actually landed in a tier 5 game with tier 4 tanks in it. No enemy in sight yet. You'll notice that the bots have a colon in front of their name and after it, so they're fairly easily identifiable as bots. Of course, I wasn't showing the actual names, that's better. I can see the team lists now to see who is a bot and who's not. Kind of important. Rounds out the T1 Heavy. Direct hit! Oh, in fact, he hit the turret. Looks like he hit the gun mantlet as well. So I can see a yellow mark on there, and he gets another hit on the same target. And that time round he hit the top of the turret. That one was just a little too late to do some damage. T1 Heavy is a tier 5 American heavy tank. Oh, and he got another blind hit this time. And he's pulling back because we found an enemy DW2. And according to the team list, one of those is a live player, the other one is a bot. So there is an actual player of the DW2 in this game. VK2001D, the Daimler version, 20-ton tank. That one's a bot. That one's back in the programmer's shed. Yes, unfortunately he is no more. He has ceased to be. Okay, we're still going after that T1 Heavy. No, he can't get the shell to curve over the edge. So he's abandoned that one and now he's going after the tanks down here. Well, the AMX-40 is a bot. The one who just drowned was a Panzerfiat Hydrostat. And that was a real live player. Yes, somebody playing a premium tank decided to try and drive it over to the other side of the river outside the bounds of the map, and he drowned in the process. Right, the looks that we're firing at, who just got wiped out, was a bot, and so is that AMX-40, but he's pulling back. Rounds out. Nope, shell went to the left. He might give it another go. He's very low on hit points. No, he stopped in the bush for cover. But he might still be there, so it would be worth giving it another shot. Rounds out. And he's got the kill! So he's now got 3 kills in this game, ProvoBob. So he's having a good game so far. BK, it's not BK, it's a Panzerfiat Ausrundee, one of the earlier versions of the Panzerfiat. If I remember correctly, that has a 75mm gun. Just blind firing now to see if he can pick that target up. Oh, now this is interesting. That's a P-43, but that is actually a bot. Gets that shell right next door to him. It did do critical damage, but it only damaged the tracks. Lining up another shot. That's a direct hit. 101 hit points, 3 critical hits. And can we get another shot into the target? Yes, and this time it's 202 hit points. And there's a DW2 coming towards us. He takes a hit for 165. It's gone behind the house. He knew to go for cover. Oh, takes another hit, this time to the engine bay for 77. But there's nobody between us and him now, so he's coming straight towards us. Okay, looking at the other end of the map, the target's over there. There's an M10 RBFM just behind that house, but he's at maximum range, so ProvoBob's dialing in as much as he can to try and get an accurate hit. Now, the shell did go exactly where he wanted it to, but that DW2 is getting really close. And he might be a real player, actually, because there is one tank with real player. And, oh, we just took a hit. Okay, and another hit. And a third. Can we get a kill shot? Well, we blocked a few shots, but the DW2 is no more. He took a big hit with that last one, and he's out the game. Well, big hit. It was only 37 hit points, but at close range, it really did have a big effect upon him. I think that was a real player, actually, who just went out of the game. So 4 kills now to ProvoBob, but he did lose a fair amount of hit points. He blocked 2 shots, and I do think he is actually in line for a Stark's medal, because the 2 shots he blocked counted as 70 hit points apiece, and that would be 140, which is more than the hit points he actually currently has. So he's actually now potentially on a Stark's medal. Rounds out. T1 heavy. Lands close, but not close enough. Now, I think that M10 RBFM is out of range, but this guy is not. This is the P43, and remember, that one is a bot. He fires in. He had to fire in when he did because he was about to move. Bob's going to try and follow him. He needs to get closer anyway. The enemy M10 has been wiped out, and that means now it's only the P43 Biz, P43 rather, not the Biz. That's the tier 5 version of the P43. Even shots. At least we know he's only armed with a 75mm, not with 90mm, and he gets a hit. 79 hit points. I think that tracked him, so he might get the damage assist. Rounds out, and that's the kill shot that wins the game for ProvoBob. Here's the end of battle stats for the first game, and it's a second-class tanker for ProvoBob in the Fifi. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He ended up with 5, just one short of getting a Top Gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 7. And he also got a Stark's medal. Yes, he did do enough damage and also took at least 2 shots. In fact, he took 3 shots which penetrated, but he had 2 shots which were blocked by the enemy. And the combined amount of hit points was much more than the actual hit points of his own vehicle. So he easily qualified for a Stark's. He also got 2 kills on the enemy. In fact, he got 5, and he was alive right at the end of the game. In fact, he got the last kill of the game in that one. He also picked up the high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall, and his win rate was 4,652, which is super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score and see where he is. Well, he very definitely got the highest score in this one. 1,654 went to ProvoBob. 1,623 went to the Chaffee, so the Chaffee almost got the high caliber. He picked up a Confederate instead. And when it came to third highest, that actually went to the T1 Heavy on the enemy team with 1,418. When it came to kills, ProvoBob easily got that one with 5 kills. 3 kills went to the T67, the T1 Heavy on our team, and the T1 Heavy on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, yes, he got that one too. So again, he's got the top in all 3 columns. 791 went to the Chaffee, and 632 went to the T67. 853 to Bob. Yeah, very nice score. Let's have a look at detail. 32 shots fired, so he still had 18 rounds left at the end of the game. 14 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrating shots, and 16 splash. Damage of 1,654 hit points, of which 1,396 were at more than 300 meters. 5 hits received from the enemy, 3 penetrating shots, 2 non-penetrating shots blocked by the armor. Yes, I'm afraid that, well, not afraid, but the DW2 firing his 5cm main gun actually went for the wrong part of the body. He actually hit the hull. He was auto-aiming on. And of course, the shots were blocked by the heavy armor on the front of the vehicle. 140 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed, and he earned a profit of 22,242 credits from the game. Didn't have to use premium ammo, just use the standard HE, and 1,933 XP as well. So a very good game. And yes, he did succeed, even against the opposing players, especially that DW2. He really needs to learn to aim. If you aim at the shield, the gun shield, you would have taken Bob down, but you didn't, and that cost you the game. Anyway, that was the first battle. Let's have a look at the second replay. In the second replay, ProvoBob's on the north spawn of Lakeville.
Time to roll out.
Yes, another tier 5 game with tier 4 tanks in it. Yes, there are bots. It is the Australian-New Zealand server, so you must expect bots. And Bob's going to his usual position on this corner. I wouldn't say it's his every time he goes to this position, but he does sometimes go elsewhere. But it is a very good position. I've used it myself. The reason being, obviously, it gives you great angles on this side of the map, and he's firing blind into that corner with his first shot, just in case there was an enemy tank hiding behind it. Now there's 14 vehicles on either side. Oh, yes, there is a T-34 there, and he gets a hit. And it's actually on the hull. You can just see the mark, the yellow. Well, it's the hole actually, but I don't think that was a penetration. That was definitely a penetrating shot. No doubt about that. Absolutely, certainly penetrated that one. 409 hit points with the second shot. Rounds out. Oh, now the enemy bishop's down there. Now, he must have spotted the tracer coming from that direction. Fully dialed in. Rounds out. Lands in front of the bishop. The bishop's not taking any notice. He's still firing. He's going to go down. And that is another penetrating shot, this time for 436. He hasn't moved, which he should have done. Oh, and he keeps missing. Well, the bishop is moving now, but mainly because he realizes he's got no chance unless he does. And it's too late because he's gone. So that's the second kill for ProvoBob, going for the M8A1. Rounds out. And it's a one-shot kill. It hit the right angle. And now we're looking at the KB1 who's up at the pass. Wasn't fully dialed in when he fired, but it is dialing in now. Lining up a shot. Rounds out. Yeah, hits the front of the vehicle, 127. It's got a new target, a B1. Now the Char B1 is very, very good tank actually. At the start of the war, the Germans were astonished at the fact that those tanks actually had huge armor compared to their own. It's taking a lot of punishment. That, of course, tank is the donor for the hull on the BP. Of course, the Germans then modified the Char B1. And another hit. You see how much damage it's taking, and it's still staying alive. But he goes down eventually to our T6, who manages to get the final kill, coup de grace. You know, that KB1's still there, and the KB1s do have heavy armor as well. I think they surprised the Germans as well when they came into operation. Of course, the original KB was known as the Clement Voroshilov, which of course is the name of the Soviet defense minister at the time. But of course, they quickly devised another version of the Clement Voroshilov tank, which actually had the big howitzer on top. That was the KB2. But before they got to the KB2, they actually designed the Su-100Y, the box tank, based on the T-100 hull. with a huge 13cm naval gun. They thought that would be a good idea for knocking down the bunkers on the Mannerheim line. Of course, they only built one, and instead of actually going with that prospect, they actually decided to go with the KB2 instead. And there was a whole line of KB tanks that came off the KB1, all with different variations, different amounts of armor, different guns. And that one hit the wreck. That KV1 is still there and putting up a fight. The T6 needs to move up a little though to show us where he is. Instead, we're going to go for the DW2 on the enemy team. Rounds out. That's a real player, by the way, that one. He's been tracked. Rounds out again. And he's tracked again. We are getting... look. Yes, that's a blind hit. We get another shot on target. The KV1 pulled back, by the way. That's why we couldn't get hits on him. He's now gone into that little ring area. Don't know if that area's actually got a name, but the enemy just lost their Panzer III. Now go for that DW2 again. Rounds out. Yes, that's a kill. And that is his 4th kill for Bob. Now looking towards the town. The enemy seems to have most of the town at the moment, and our guys are actually pulling back. We're only 1 up on the enemy, and there's still 5 enemy tanks out there. We know one of those is the KV1. He was last seen in that ring area there. Now, he's firing blind, but he's low on ammo, so he really ought to be careful now. Only 14 rounds left. Yeah, I wouldn't fire any, because you can't see where he is. No idea. You might need those rounds for some more enemy. Okay, T-80. It's a light tank. Lands the round near it, but not on target. Let it settle. That's it. Rounds out. Direct hit. Yes, when Bob does it right, he gets it right, all right. Go for it again. Oh, he's moved. You can see the tree went down. Yeah, he didn't like getting hit, so he moved off. Get another shot. That was so close. And the T-80's about to go down. It's a one-shot. Oh, very definitely a one-shot. And Bob gets the kill. That's 5. Okay. Can't see any more tanks in the town. We know there's a P2640 seen in there. What we're worried about now at the moment is that the T6 medium, who's our last tank in the valley, has actually pulled out of the valley, which means now Bob is the closest to that KV1. On top of that, there's an Electo on the Lake Road, and Bob is, well, the T6 medium is moving up to try and stop that Electo. He doesn't have much in the way of hit points either. Well, Bob hasn't spotted the KV1, but he's done the correct things to move away from the cap area, because if the KV1 was too close, he could suffer damage. The best thing for him to do is move behind these houses, and if the KV1 does come into the cap area, then he can take action. But he can actually take out the Electo on behalf of his team from some distance away if they can spot him. Now, there's only 3 tanks left on the enemy team, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Their combined hit points are only 519. Bob's, well, he's fully healthy. This should be far enough. Don't want to get too far away from the enemy cap area, or from his own cap area rather. I know his teammates are reluctant to go through the town. 2 of them are definitely real players. It was only the Matilda that's actually the bot. Now from this angle he can shoot at the enemy, and there's the P2640. Now the P2640 is a bot. He's got no shot there. Only 3 rounds of HE. He needs to hold on to his ammo just in case. Got just under 6 minutes left on the game. He's trying to tell them to move forward. Actually, he's saying defend the base, but I think he's trying to tell the VK3001H to return to our cap area. That's a live player. He is low on hit points, though, that VK. Bob shouldn't need much damage to take out the KV-1. He was very, very low on hit points. But I have the feeling that VK3001H might go down with his first shot. Oh, they found the P2640 in the town area. He's switching to that one straight away. Okay, he's lining it up. See if he can get a shot in. Gone behind the house. Oh, this is awkward. Rounds out. Lands right next door to him, but doesn't do any damage. He's quite correct not to fire because he can't see the target, but the others will spot it. I think he knocked down that tree a short while ago. He has to wait until he spots the target now before he can shoot. I think firing those blind shots against the KV-1 has cost him on ammo. And the P26 has been spotted again. He's in the town, but we can't shoot him at the moment. Now, can we get fully dialed in? Come on, come down the street. And that building gets in the way. That tower gets in the way. Oh, he gets the top gun. He wipes out the P2640. There's only 2 left on the enemy team. The KV-1 has been spotted, and he's hiding behind that rock. Now again, we can't really fire. Oh, he shouldn't have fired. No, he shouldn't have fired because he didn't know for certain if the KV-1 was there. And now he's only got heat rounds left. The unfortunate thing is now that, well, with the VK3001H in our cap area, he's got a long way to drive to get to the enemy cap. The T6 medium is very close. He was the one who spotted the KV-1. But there's also that Alecto. We don't know where he is. Now, the Alecto might take out the VK3001H the moment that he comes over the pass. I think the others are taking their time to get up there. There's the Alecto. We can't hit him from this angle. We're just too far away and he's behind the rock. There's the KV-1. And unfortunately, T6 medium goes down. Can we get a hit on the KV-1? Oh my gum, it hit the thing, but it didn't penetrate. It came in at the wrong angle. He tries again. And yet again, makes an expensive hole in the ground. If that had been an HE round, I'm pretty certain the KV-1 would have been toast. But there's only 2 minutes left now. And even though the Valiant and the VK3001H are moving in on the cap, the Matilda, because of course he's a bot, is not doing that. And there's the 2-minute warning. One of the problems with the VP is its top speed is only 28 kilometers an hour. It's very slow. There is a heavy tank in disguise. There's the KV-1 now. Going to get the kill. The enemy Alecto is dead. Fires the round in on the KV-1. It lands behind him. Now he's got 2 rounds left. Can he get the kill shot that wins the game? Rounds out. No, and he's got 1 round left to win the game. Other than that, it's leaving it to the other players. He fires the round in. And no, he's out of ammo now. Yes, those shots he fired blind at the KV-1 and now coming back to haunt him. because of course if he'd not fired those, he didn't know where the guy was. We knew he was in the valley, but we couldn't tell where, and now he's out of ammo. All he can do is drive towards the enemy cap. The Valiant is in the cap, but it's too late for him to do it alone. And, well, the VK's gone in behind to try and kill the KV-1, and he's done it! He's done it! He's saved us from getting a draw. It is a victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that turned out to be an ace tanker game for ProvoBob in the 105 leFH18B2. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 20. A gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 10 times, or in fact, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. A high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. He ended up with 6 exactly, and a win rate of 10,553, which is super unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage in that game was very definitely with ProvoBob. 2,889 hit points went to him. Second highest damage was the Electo on the enemy team with 1,645. Now, we didn't see him during the actual battle, and I think that's because he was hiding very, very carefully, but he was getting shots on our tanks. And the third highest damage in the game turned out to be the KV-1 on the enemy team with 1,387 hit points. When it came to kills, ProvoBob got that one as well with 6 kills. 3 kills went to the T6 Medium and the Valiant on our team. T6 Medium got a leFH18B2 medal for killing enemy tanks, so at least 1 tier higher than his own. And of course the Valiant as well got a steel wall, because of course he does have armor. And third place goes to the VK3001H with 2 kills, the Electo on the enemy team, their KV-1, their SU-85, and also to their Panzer III. When it came to base XP, ProvoBob's the only one to get over 1,000. Yes, so he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,211 base experience points went to ProvoBob, 774 went to the BDR-G1B, and 696 went to the Valiant. He fired all 50 rounds of ammunition at the end of the game. I think he might have regretted some of those blind shots he fired. 20 direct hits on the enemy, 4 penetrating shots, and 18 splash. Damage of 2,889, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 6 of them, and did 201 hit points of damage assistance. Now, he did earn a profit of 14,143 credits on a free-to-play account, and he also took away 1,533 XP as well. But really, getting an ace tanker at tier 5 with tier 4 tanks in it is pretty astonishing, to say the least. Yes, I know they were bots, some of them were bots, but some of them were real players, and they were fighting. So he really did astonishingly well, because most people, if they play the Fifi, they tend to get the ace tankers at tier 7 or tier 6. They rarely get it at tier 5, and especially not at tier 5 with tier 4 tanks in it. So very well done to ProvoBob for actually getting such a high score at such a low tier game, so to speak. I hope you enjoyed both of those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.